Alex, tell me, are you in Dallas right now?
I'm in Plano.
Oh,
I'm in Plano.
okay,
So,
okay.
Dallas-ish.
Yeah, same area.
Same area. I mean, the whole thing is kind of one big sprawling suburb anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that really distinguishes Fort Worth and Dallas, to my mind, is the stockyards and, distance on I-30.
I
It's
don't know if they would agree with you, the stalwart Fort Worth people and the Dallas people, but
There is kind of a fun rivalry.
yeah,
SMU, TCU,
yeah,
all Dallas cultural life. Well, I mean, Dallas has a great cultural life on its own, but we would miss Fort Worth a ton. I mean, I really think the two cities benefit each other.
no, they do. They're a perfect complement, and I think
Mhm.
what's really cool is that you'll kind of have like a hometown boy flavor about you, being right there in the area, which I think should be cool. I mean, you should have lots of friends and family or, fans that can come out and support during the competition. Are you looking forward to that kind of
Oh,
attention?
yeah. I mean, yeah, we all kind of look at Cliburn as being the competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know there are a couple of others that are on the Clyburn's level, but it's here. Clyburn has meant so much to our area for
Yeah.
piano and classical music too. So I'm really excited to get to be a part of this. I sort of feel like we're all in it together in a way, and they're all helping out in a variety of ways, which is really cool as well. So,
You're there, so you can tell us. It seems that the loss of Van Cliburn, of course, is so tangible. I mean, how are you
mhm.
expecting that to change the competition experience?
I don't know. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, his presence itself is an inspiration.
Yeah.
Every time you see him, you remember 1958,
Yeah.
his fantastic recordings, his generous spirit. And those aspects, among others, I'm sure, to his persona are a lot of what inspired all of the other people who worked to make the Clyburn Foundation the cultural force that it is.
Right.
Um, so absolutely he will be missed,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes the memory of a person can inspire as much as their presence, and I hope that that's what happens. I believe that's what he would want.
Yeah. Well, we often talk about him in terms of being an ambassador and having such a great heart. And I noticed when um, checking out your bio that you've had your own experience with what I like to call taking the music off the stage. You actually were a part of organizing some relief concerts. Um,
Yes.
how important is that to you? I mean, as a musician, to feel like you're doing something beyond just honoring a composer while you're on stage or presenting yourself.
It's critical for a couple of reasons. One of them is very almost narcissistic. I mean, if we don't foster new audiences, we won't have audiences.
Sure.
So we've got to bring the music to them. We can't expect the school systems to do everything. We need to also do our part and show them why we're so crazy about this music, why we would sacrifice so many things for the sake of this art. But at the same time, I think it's really important to stress that life is not about music. Music is about life, and
Oh,
that
that's good.
should not be reversed. And so, if you can bring music to people who survived the Tohoku tsunami in Japan, and you can bring them a little bit of joy, that's meaningful because we get to interact with each other in a way. And it's inspiring for me to see them, rebuilding their lives in the way that they are. So, and music is a big part of that. Music was always supposed to be a community experience.
Hmm. Well, that's exciting because it would seem to predict that you would take that kind of same spirit of sharing on stage with you. That we're going to see someone who's not just executing technical difficulties and jumping hurdles, but who's looking forward to kind of really touching and connecting with the audience in front of you.
I hope so. I mean, when you're really nervous, who knows what happens? But that's my goal.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, the Clyburn format, because it's such a traditional concert format, frustrates me because my favorite way to perform is to talk to my
Yeah.
audiences.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
tell them goofy stories about how Haydn used to deliver the mail, how Liszt, received a gift of 2 dancing bears from the Tsar and left them in Russia,
Yeah.
and then that's just fun trivia to realize that the man behind the wig is actually kind of a cool person.
Right.
I like that, the man behind the wig. I just made
You
that up.
copyrighted.
Let's coin that.
Good.
Anyway, but also knowing why the music speaks, you can make someone's evening so much more enjoyable if they know what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Like, one of my personal missions is like, okay, I'm doing a concert. Here's a guy that got drugged to the concert by his wife. He really wants to be watching the UTOU football game.
Yeah.
How can I make him have fun?
Yeah.
And connect to this music, and even connect part of his own psychology to these composers. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fun to be able to interact like that.
Yeah, and so at the Cliburn, since you won't be able to, it's kind of a different angle you'll have to take in a way of going back to just performing. How do we still get the music to kind of cross the footlights, You're someone who seemed to really enjoy the academic experience. What did you learn new about the Liszt B minor sonata, which I swore I heard about 1 million renditions of 4 years ago?
I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, pieces like that. At one point I think it could be the Juilliard fight song or something,
Yeah.
We go to Juilliard, we go to Juilliard,
I'm definitely posting that.
That's measure 108 for those of you who are curious.
Yeah.
When you're sifting through information, you're looking for something that's meaningful to you and to the audience. And you do sift through a lot of minutia and things that are not necessarily meaningful right away. I feel lucky that I got to write about the sonata because, the goal of a dissertation is to do original research. And when you get to a piece as popular as the B minor sonata, you kind of feel like with Solomon, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah.
But a study of editions had not been done yet.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's the first time an edition study has been done. And so the reason why I thought this was interesting is because only the first edition was published during Liszt's lifetime. The piece was not popular while he was alive. It only became popular, just to put it in context, he died in 1886.
Mm-hmm.
Only one edition, the first edition, was published during his lifetime. The next edition to show up was 1909. Between 1909 and 1929, you have 13 to 14 new editions.
Wow.
A whole flurry of editorial activity and publishing activity. And that's because Liszt, the composer, began to be respected.
Okay.
During his lifetime, he was only Liszt, the pianist. Nobody would give him credit.
Right.
For his composing. They just kind of put up with him because he had such great influence and all this other stuff. So I wanted to trace some peculiarities in the text, particularly the last note, to see if it really was the way I thought it had been printed, or.
Sure.
Oh yeah, I won't get into it. Sorry, that's a dangerous thing to do. Ask them about their dissertation.
No, but it's great. It's great to see someone.
Sleep.
No, it's good to see someone.
My document is the cure for insomnia.
And I don't remember from your rep list. Are you playing the Liszt?
Yeah, first round.
Yeah.
First round, first performance. It'll be in there. I'm going to there's a slight change to the score. I'm playing the last note as an octave. That's based on my understanding of the text. That will scandalize a few people.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because that last note is famous.
Yeah, the message boards will light up. Well, Alex, before we go, tell me something that would surprise us about you, other than the very personal information you've already shared and the academic knowledge that you've given us. What should we know that we wouldn't know just by looking at reading your bio?
Okay. I've had tendinitis twice.
Wow.
That's not something that performers brag about, but I like to bring that up because most of what I've learned as a teacher and as a person came through those experiences, which were very painful. But if that hadn't happened, I would not have met my fiancée, Rachel. I would not have much of worth to say to my students.
Wow.
And so I would just emphasize to everybody that things happen for a reason, and you just got to play the hand you've been dealt, and it's good. These things work out for the best, and the goal of tendinitis was not Cliburn. The goal of tendinitis is to grow as a person and grow as a teacher and grow as a musician. So, we're all going to have ups and downs through this experience. I don't know how far I'm going to go or my friends are going to go, but hopefully we'll all be expanded and come out of this suffering better people. So that would be my hope.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see you go after that, and for once, I'm looking forward to a performance of the Liszt B minor sonata.
It's a long piece. Those last octaves, 3 pages from the end?
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. Apply these lyrics. Thank God it's almost over.
I will
And you'll
say
smile a
that
little bit.
live on the webcast, especially.
I would
Thank
love
you
it if
so
those
much.
words pop up. With
Sounds good.
little
Maybe we can get it to scroll by as
That's
as
right.
you're
Kind of like
playing.
a little bouncing ball, and
Yeah.
there's like the lyrics come by, and you sing it as it goes.
I can't wait to meet you in person, Alex. Good luck in
Thank you.
Fort Worth, and
Thank you,
I'll
Jade.
see you
Appreciate it.
soon.
Pleasure talking to you. Have a
You
great
too.
day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.